Greetings, YouTube. Happy technically Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon for those of you across the pond. I am so honored to actually have the opportunity to post some 6-star Invisible Woman gameplay. You might see SaucyAsff was one of the summoners that I featured in my best of the best pulls for Namor, and he got a 6-star Invisible Woman. And thanks to that, he decided that he wanted to make a video kind of showcasing her potential. And he wanted to start off by showing you that the only real synergy he used was the Thing synergy. And so that is the Force Block synergy. And that's really it so far. Now you see the question marks. I have a feeling we know exactly who's going to read those synergy spots, if you catch my drift. But we've got two different videos to show you. Let's start with this one. Very popular Winter Soldier Realm of Legends. He activated her ability before the fight. And really what's fascinating about this fight is that really, at least to me, now he does have suicides on, that's why you see that poison at the beginning, but it's all about dexterity, particularly with the special attacks. And we know that Winter Soldier has two different, technically, bullets that come out of his gun. So you'll see when she dexes back, he actually gains not one, but two vulnerable charges, and that happens every time he dexes back with her. So you'll look at that target icon in the top right of the screen, and just watch that number go up, and it's going to go up very quickly. And every time he does anything with dexterity, any attack, any special, it goes up. Although in Winter Soldier's case, it really is the most effective to just keep baiting that special one and stacking those vulnerabilities. So, you know, sometimes it says guys shouldn't be vulnerable. Well, maybe this is the reason why. Maybe it's because they'll get wrecked by an invisible woman if they're vulnerable in a fight. I'm just saying. Some weird messages for our youth of today. But yeah, already up to 18 vulnerability charges. And even though this was sent to me via the Line app and it could look a bit compressed, it still seems to have, for the most part, pretty good pixelation. It's not like it's 240p or something. All right, 20 vulnerable charges now, and you're starting to see that damage go up a bit. This is certainly not a champion that's going to be, the end-all, be-all. Certainly not going to be somebody who's like Namor in certain cases, but still looks like a fun champion to fight with. And what I really appreciate is that once those vulnerable charges are there, they don't go away. They just continue to stack. Whereas a lot of times when you're stacking debuffs, unless, say, you refresh them, like with Gamora and her heavy attack, or She-Hulk and her special one, you're going to see those go down. But Invisible Woman seems to be a good, longer fight option, but at the same time, doesn't really hit super hard, at least not from this video. This is a 6-star, but this, of course, is a rank 1 6-star. Now we're up to 40 vulnerability charges, and the intercepting is working quite well, for sure. We're going to gain 2 more after that dex of the special one. You're seeing a bunch of crits between 1 and 2,000 normally. And it's kind of just rinsing and repeating. I do think that she seems to be viable in terms of lasting a long fight. The issue, of course, is if you're looking for a longer fight, she doesn't appear to be the best Alliance Quest or Alliance War attack champion because the 3-minute counter is simply too long to really maximize those vulnerability charges. But almost down to assassin range health, starting to do a bit more damage. You're seeing some crits over 2,000. And now we're at 50 vulnerable charges. He's just so vulnerable right now. He needs a new healthcare plan, that's for sure. And it looks to be that the 50 is the max that it stacks. It stopped at 50, did that special. It did land at 10,000, which was pretty cool. So the second video you're going to see is kind of just a normal questing experience with the Invisible Woman. In this case, it's going up against Ronan. I believe this is in the uncollected monthly quest. And you'll see gaining a vulnerable charge already, but now we know from the last video it's all about that dexterity. Every time you dex, you add a vulnerable charge. So it's baiting that special 1. There we go. Unfortunately, Dex did not proc, so you did not see the vulnerable charge go to 4. That probably will happen real soon, though. There we go. 4, 5. Dexed the look like a light attack, followed by the special 1. Special 2 up to 12k. Not bad. And then from there, you just go in and you attack. Certainly better than Ebony Slaw, but not exactly a champion that you can get as pumped up about as, like I said, Namor or even, say, Aegon. It's not somebody that builds over time. Another champion that I just think is really fantastic is Morningstar in longer paths. Certainly I've seen god tier like damage with Morningstar and utility with certain fights. But here's King Groot. Certainly not a champion that I ever enjoy fighting with that low stun, almost limber-like shortened stun duration. But we do see getting clipped a little bit, and then the invulnerability, or the invisibility, I should say, does help fight off one hit from the combo. But this does not appear to be the best fight for her, because there aren't as many opportunities to Dex. In fact, he has no vulnerability charges whatsoever right now, and he has gained exhaustion, but still no vulnerability charges. Finally get one there, and we're a good, 30, 40 seconds in the fight. Now starting to stack those up to 2. And really it's just a matter of taking your time, intercepting, especially in invisible mode. But compare the fun of this to, say, Ghost, right? There really is no comparison whatsoever. But who knows? The fascinating thing about the Fantastic Four is that you just have this feeling that when you combine all of them into one questing lineup, they're going to be maybe OP, and we're just waiting for the final member to be released. And from there, we'll be able to gauge a lot more in terms of synergies and usage rate. I'm as excited or even more excited for the Spider-Man Far From Home monthly event as I am trying to get my hands on Invisible Woman as a champion. I always got to say that line. So yeah, she's done okay, but really with those 2 vulnerability charges, not great. We do see a special 3 for the first time. He's at 14%, so let's see how powerful it is. Really cool animations. The Kabam team always does a great job. But that only took, 7% health, so kind of a classic letdown of a special 3. And then finally hitting that 1%, attacking into the block, missing that special 1, and then countering. So there you have it, YouTube. I think there's another fight in this path, but you get the idea. We don't want to make this video super long. So thanks again to SaucyAsff for supplying this rare video of a rank 1 6-star Invisible Woman. Here's to hoping that Awakened and maybe with the right synergy team she hits harder. But for the most part, she seems like a decent champion to fight with in a longer fight where you can ramp up those vulnerability charges. But at the same time, I'm not super impressed with her damage output. But you never know. We just got to wait to see what the whole synergy team looks like and kind of decide from there. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.